Overcoming procrastination will change your life. If you ever told yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, or gotten stuck in the loop of scrolling, planning, and overthinking while your goals collect dust, this message is for you. I'm going to share a simple method that helped me write a book, build a business, and regain control of my day. I call it the 50 and 10 method, and it might be the productivity hack you didn't know you needed. So let's get into it. The truth is, we all procrastinate. Sometimes it's disguised as thinking time or getting more clarity. Other times we just get distracted. And in today's world, with notifications and obligations and just mental clutter everywhere, procrastination can creep in without us realizing it. But here's the good news. Productivity is a skill. It can be learned. And today I'm going to show you how to stop procrastinating and start hitting your goals like never before. And in this episode, we'll cover my personal story of how procrastination nearly held me back from publishing my book, the exact method I used to finally get it done, how to set goals that actually move the needle, a strategic plan from the high performance playbook, and how to end each day with clarity and momentum. By the end of this, you'll walk away with a system you can use today to take control of your schedule and your success. So let me be straightforward with you. I used to be the king of almost done. I had this dream of writing a book, and not just any book, but a legacy piece, something that captured my experience as a high performance coach and could genuinely help people live better lives. So I got to work. Well, kind of. I spent years jotting down notes, buying journals, highlighting books, organizing sticky notes. I told myself I was researching. Okay, I was in this endless cycle of researching, but let's call it what it was: procrastinating with style. The truth, I was afraid. I was afraid it wasn't going to be perfect. I was afraid it wasn't going to be good enough. So I stayed in the prep phase, just endlessly tinkering. And then one day I looked at my kids and I thought, what kind of legacy am I leaving behind if I never finish what I start? And that hit me hard. I didn't want my kids to grow up watching a dad who talks about big ideas but never executes. We all know that guy, right? I wanted to be someone who finishes, someone who follows through. So I made a decision. I put a deadline on it. I committed to early mornings, and I created a system around focused execution. And that's when the 50 and 10 method was born. So here's how it works. Set a timer for 50 minutes and work on one important task. Fully focused, no multitasking, no phones, no checking email. After 50 minutes, take a 10-minute break. Get up, stretch, grab water, walk around, let your brain reset, then repeat. This is one productivity cycle. And for me, I usually stack 2 or 3 of these in the morning. That's my power block, my zone of genius. So let me be clear. This isn't about working longer. It's about working smarter. Our brains work best in sprints, not marathons. Focus hard, then recover. It's rhythm, not hustle. You don't need a perfect schedule. You need just 1 hour. Do that every day and the results compound fast. So let me give you an example of how this plays out in real life. When I was sitting down to write my book, I would sit down at 6 a.m., set a timer, and I would just begin writing. No distractions, no background noise, no switching tabs, just deep work. After the first 50 minutes, I'd take a quick walk outside or drink some water. Maybe I might stretch for 5 minutes, and then I'd come back for the next cycle. By 9 a.m., I had already done more creative work than most people get done in an entire day. And the reason this works so well is because it mirrors how our brains are naturally wired. We are not designed for endless hours of attention. Instead, focus bursts combined with short breaks tap into our natural rhythm. You feel sharper, less burnt out, and you finish the day with a sense of accomplishment. Now, let's talk about clarity. Procrastination thrives in vagueness. If your calendar says work on business, what does that actually mean? Instead, write something like outline onboarding process by 11 a.m. Now you've got a clear target. Every Sunday, I ask myself 3 questions. What are my top 3 outcomes for this week? What's the result I want? Not just the activity. When am I doing each one? That 15-minute process saves me hours of wasted time every single week. Now let's go deeper on goals for a minute. A major mistake I see people make is confusing activity with achievement. They think a long to-do list equals productivity, but all they're really doing is just moving in circles. Clear goals should be measurable, specific, and emotionally charged. Don't just write down, grow my business. That's vague. Instead, write book 3 client calls by Friday at noon, or publish 1 blog post that promotes my lead magnet by Wednesday. When there's emotion behind the outcome, when you tie it to your purpose, your family, your future, you stop drifting and start driving. Next up, the Daily Big 3 method. This is the productivity framework that I teach in the High Performance Playbook, and it's how I coach my high-performing clients. Here's how it works. Identify your top 3 outcomes for the day, the 3 most important results you need to create. Time block each one before the day gets hijacked. Use 50 and 10 cycles to execute each one with full focus. That's it. Not a 15 task to-do list, just 3 high leverage outcome-based goals executed with discipline. This creates momentum. You end the day with clarity and confidence, and it connects your daily efforts with your long-term vision, and you pair it with your weekly big 3 and 90-day goals, and now you've got a real system. So let me show you what my daily big 3 might look like on Monday. First, it might be record and upload a new podcast episode. It might be send an outreach email to 10 leads from my referral list. It might be review this quarter's course content updates and assign revisions, right? Each one of these is outcome-based, not work on podcasts, but publish it. Not review some stuff, but complete the task and move the ball forward. And by focusing on just 3 major outcomes, I can stay flexible if life throws me curveballs, but still at the end of the day, knowing I created real progress. So let's talk about reflection. High performers don't just grind, they reflect. Each evening, I ask myself, what did I accomplish today? What distracted me? What will I do different tomorrow? Some days, the win is huge. Other days, the win is just showing up. But reflection builds consistency, and consistency wins. Here's the simple truth. Your reflection time is where the learning happens. You don't get better by just grinding harder. You improve by analyzing what's working, what's not, and what needs to change. When I started doing nightly reflections, I noticed patterns. I saw that I was always getting distracted at the same time of day. It was 2:30 p.m. It was the craziest time. So I started scheduling lighter tasks then. I realized I was consistently procrastinating on outreach emails, so I moved them to my first 50 and 10 block of the day when my energy was at its highest. Small insights like that repeated daily lead to massive growth over time. Now, watch out for these traps. Over-optimization, okay? Don't wait for a perfect system. Start messy and improve later. Simple. Fake productivity. Crossing off 12 easy tasks does not equal great progress. Focus on results. Reactive mornings. If you check email first thing, you're letting someone else control your day. Your inbox is just a fancy place for other people's to-do list for you. Your time is your power. Protect it like it matters, because it does. So let's bring this home. Here's what we covered today. We've talked about the 50 and 10 method, how to set clearly weekly goals, the daily big 3 method for daily execution, and the power of reflection to compound growth. So let me tell you this, the moment you start applying these methods, you shift from thinking to doing. When clients of mine start using the daily big 3 and running 50 and 10s, their momentum skyrockets. They stop being overwhelmed. They stop feeling behind. Instead, they end their day feeling proud and focused and in control. You don't need motivation. You need a system that respects your time and honors your potential. So let me leave you with this. You don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need better tools. You need better intention. Most people aren't failing because they're incapable. They're failing because they've never built a system that works for them. The 50 and 10 method, the daily big 3, clear weekly outcomes, nightly reflection. These aren't just productivity hacks. They're the foundation of a high performance life. And the best part, you can start today. No cost, no fancy tools, just a timer and a pen and a commitment to show up with focus. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one habit? What's one mindset shift? What's one productivity tool that's helped you? Or what's your biggest struggle? Comment, share it. Let's grow together. And if today's message hit home, bookmark it, revisit it when you need that extra little push, because the truth is consistency, clarity, and execution will always beat perfect plans. Until next time, go win the day. You've got this.